Reginald here. So I will be reviewing the second of two games that Shaq sent me to review. This is a Celestial 2-player. Invisible Woman is their main. Now, I'm going to be going over this with a fine-tooth comb because that's the level of play that they're at. They don't need me to tell them how to aim better or how not to stand in the open like an idiot, probably. And they need me to tell them what little things they can do to make the game, them succeed where they are making mistakes, right? How do they think about problems that they are having that they could solve for? Where are the errors that are unforced that they could fix that wouldn't result in them, that might allow them to make new plays? So that's the kind of game we're going to be doing today. I was told when this was given to me that this was a stomp game where they stomped. I think that was a mistype on Shaq's part. It was actually a game where they got stomped. So you're going to hear me be a little confused for a little bit here until I realize that they got stomped in this game, and then I'm going to take it from there. Okay, let's go. Let's look at the bands here and see what we're going to be working with today. No band for the first slot. A Wolverine band and a Namora and Banner band. My objective here is just to cut this down to just the team fights to make it easy. Great shield usage, just keeping people topped off easily. A little slow in the reaction there, not a big deal. Obviously, she survived.
Feeling fantastic.
You're paying attention. Those are hard shots to hit. I totally understand. You got to kind of lead to land them, but it's no problem. So let's back that up real quick. I think that death is your fault.
Clearly.
Hear me out. Don't be wrong. Okay, so don't be wrong. It's obvious that Thor needed to play the corner better. He's going to get shot and he's going to die. This person could have been rescued here with your shield at any point. Now, okay, let's look at that again.
I got you covered.
You got 100 health, your shield, you reloaded. So if you get a reload, you can interrupt your reload with shield. And that would have bought you time to get the reload with that extra 100 HP and a little bit of healing on him. And he might have noticed to stop standing in the way. Now, he might not have, and then he might have died, but then it would have been his fault, not yours. Okay, so right here, I mean, he's getting shot at. You know he's getting shot at. You hit one. Good job. Miss. So, I mean, if we look at this, you predicted he would try to take better cover. This would be bad cover for him because it's going to be in line with the angle of fire, and there's Bucky coming in, which you didn't see.
Be proud of what you
Now this shield is good for you because you can play around it. So, I mean, I like what you're thinking here, which is just, I'm going to play around this. Yeah, and then you move it on to Star-Lord. All right, that's all fine.
Anyone willing to help? I like the cool
Great job. Great job on your Luna.
vortex field. No worries. I've got your back. I was on the brink.
Shield is not on cooldown. Yeah, so let's go back to this.
No worries.
She's gonna die here. 2 seconds. Oh, very close, very close. Yep, okay, your shield comes off cooldown. She dies. This is you not noticing your shield cooldown. That's why she died there. Like, if we look at this, right here, you've got it. Hit her with it. I know you're working really hard to keep her alive, and I know this is going to be hard to do really quickly, but the 300 HP she can play around, walk through to whatever side keeps her safe, right? Ooh. That sucks. Okay, so here's something you could have done there. Let's back this up. Right here, turn your camera to the left. You are third person. First of all, I'm sure he saw you because of your knee. But and like this is going to be hard to escape because you timed your jump poorly. So we'll back up to that in a second. But like right here, turn your camera to the right. You can see around that corner properly and see where he is. And then as he comes towards you, you can move around to the left, right? Instead, he gets you with his punch. So you could have avoided that death. Here's another place you could have avoided that death. Armed and dangerous, jump. If you hear armed and dangerous, just like you were a little slow on the draw. Look, reaction time is reaction time. Sometimes you don't notice these things. That's a mistake. It's a human kind of thing, but you could have made it. This dude is just like vibing in there. That's hilarious. All right. He died. Was that on purpose?
There's so
That must have been. You said you stopped this one, but the first part of the game is not going that well. So I assume people are going to start popping off here. That's a great ball. That's a great ball. Great area denial. Oh, no. Oh, no. Oh, no. Hang on. What's going on here? Your Luna has ult. Did you guys talk about this ahead of time? Just real quick, like, if you didn't, make sure you do. Like, she should... You can pick who ults first. Like, I've been thinking more and more that it makes sense to have Invisible Woman ult first because her ult is shorter, and so it will bait out other support ults that then Luna can counter with her insanely long ult, right? So there's logic here that makes sense. I have no objection to this. My problem is your positioning. There's no reason for you to be here. Like, let's just look around. Look how far forwards you are here. You are in front of everyone but Thor, who is not the person you want to be standing in front of. I think your positioning of your shield here is very sensible, but if you had placed it back an inch, like right, yeah, like I think the center is here-ish. If you placed it here-ish instead of trying to like spread, how much coverage do you have? I know this is fast. I know all of this is fast. My main issue with this is you are in front of all the tanks except Thor. You've literally run forwards in front of these two guys, and like I don't care about Hela, but you've run forward in front of your main tank, your shield tank, and Thor here is the only person that you're really behind. And look at this right here. You could have placed this back slightly so that you would have covered this section of the corner and given them a wall to walk around in if everything goes really bad. Like, you have to think about this ult from the perspective of someone who's going to... It's possible for your ult to end badly. It's possible for you to have a bad time in your ult. It's possible for bad things to happen inside your ult. So if you have the opportunity to place it in such a way that you can place it with cover, right, then you want to. This is the same thing that happens... I'm gonna lecture for a second, and I'm sorry. This is the same thing that happens with lower rank Invisible Women that I see, because I will watch other people's footage, and they will do the same thing. They will place the ult on the whole point. And they're just like, I did it. I filled the point. We should win this point fight now. No, you should place it on half the point. You should place it on a quarter of the point. Whatever makes the most sense based on the point you're fighting on. And the reason you do that is because you want people to take these corners and walls naturally. You want to encourage them to have cover in mind for when your shield ends. It's going to be hard for them to track. It's going to be hard for them to know. If you suddenly die, you want them already playing around cover and thinking intelligently instead of just pushing dead center in the middle of an open point and then dying the second everything turns bad. So your ult is a dinner bell for your team. It says, "Come into me. Come here. We want to. This is the Thunderdome now. We're gonna fight here." You get punished for this really hard. Like, you get destroyed. That happened because I probably belabored this too long, but this happened because you got too aggressive with your forward positioning. So you could have easily, instead of standing in the open here, played off of this corner and then ulted right here-ish, had almost exact same coverage, but not died because you had a wall. The enemy team doesn't have a Magneto, so you don't have to worry about that. But the enemy team often has a Magneto. So now you've forced out Luna's ult. At Storm ults, what is this? Hold on. Wait a second. Someone tell me. I'm going to take her camera so I can actually see what's going on. Not Storm's ult. Yeah, Storm's ult. We'll just look at Storm.
I am ready to put on a show.
Everyone hits Q the second it goes away. No value. No value. That's depressing.
I lift up my comrade.
In speed here, Storm. What are you doing? Turn on the damage boost. Don't forget about it. Like, your team can do more damage by a lot if you turn this on. It's 10%. It's not insignificant. Some heroes get breakpoints off that. Anyway, you're alive again. We'll go back to you.
Feeling fantastic.
Ooh, no. Ooh, yikes. Hang on.
Feeling fantastic.
So, really bloodthirsty. I'm going to reiterate this. You need to be bloodthirsty. You're not. Your impact is in shifting from healing to damage to healing and damage seamlessly as the situation allows. Your ability to pass through allies, heal them, and hit enemies and damage them is amazing. It's not always viable to do both. Your priority is obviously healing. You maintained that. Everybody I saw on your screen was at full health, so there wasn't a real concern there. Maybe Bleer over here was wounded, so that's fine. But your positioning here is really aggressive. What you could do, okay? I'm gonna free my camera here. I'm just gonna take a position over here. This is what you look like to the enemy. If you look at Thor, you could have made the same shots from Thor's position. Yes, it makes your head the easier target, but it makes your total body the harder target. And it allows you to step down to immediately break line of sight. Where Thor is where you should have been firing from if you can. Because then you could just go downstairs to break line of sight. Where you are, you actually take a ton of damage here, and that's because you're poking out so much. Look at Bucky's view, right? Thor is just as good from Bucky's view as he is from Psylocke's view, but you're in the open. You are uncovered, and this is why you take a bunch of damage. Oh, no. Yeah. The consequences of that were you die, and you feed on... Because she heals you up a little. Cool. Wait. Nope, no. I really doubt your jump would have saved you here, just so we're clear. I think he would have gotten you with the AoE no matter what you did, because you would have jumped and he would have probably gotten you. There is technically a staircase here you could have fallen into, so maybe if you had remembered that, you could have just dipped in. You also have a Thor diving you, so this is a rough situation for you. I think the likelihood of you surviving this is bad, but the fact that you're this low is why everyone decides to get aggressive. They're like, we can get the heal pick on you and potentially win the team fight, turn this around. Because right now, it's kind of in a neutral situation, so they're like, let's get the heal pick. These are on the back foot. This is not a stomp.
A little help, please.
You guys have been on the back foot for most of this match. Don't worry about that. Great. Nice. So good. So clutch. He was low. You popped it. You got him. That was awesome. Oh my god, he got obliterated. Okay, you told me this was a stomp, so I'm guessing you guys take the next 2 rounds. Right, you just destroy. Because that was not a stomp. You guys got crushed that round. There was like 1 good engage from your team, and every other time it was bad. I think you guys managed to... I mean, short game, so 8 minutes. That's 4 minutes. You guys, there's no way. You guys must have been the ones who got stomped.
30 seconds before you attack.
Alright. I'm going to assume for the rest of this video that this is actually you guys getting stomped. And when we make bad plays and when you die, I'm going to look at that a little bit more closely.
All you need to do is capture the mission.
Because there was no popping off that was going on there. I feel like you guys got your noodles handed to you in an upturned bucket. You know what I mean? I don't think I know what I mean, actually, to be honest. Oh no, oh no, oh no, oh no, oh my god, oh my god. You were so close. Hang on, could you have gotten it? Is there any way? So unlikely. Maybe there is. All I can think of is if you had hit your E on something earlier. Like, you probably still wouldn't have gotten it, though. Jeez, that sucks. You kind of needed your team to not be on point right now and taking damage just a little longer. I don't know how you communicate to that to them, but like, hey, I almost have ult. Please get hurt more. Is a hard call to make. You were so close here. I feel so bad for you. There was almost nothing you could have done. It was really down to like your team's positioning that you didn't have ult there. I love the bubble placement, by the way.
Please.
Shield him, shield him, shield him, shield him, shield him. So slow. Look, hard to hit flying characters, just shield them quick. It doesn't even matter if you move the shield immediately. You can pull it down immediately, right? Hang on. He's almost dead. Just hit him with the shield. Just hit him with the shield. It's off cooldown. It's on cooldown. All right, cool. It's off cooldown. Right here. Shoot him. Good shot, by the way. Good shots, by the way. The reason I'm saying you can just put that there is you can just pull it back in. And yes, he's at full health, and that's fine. But he could potentially leverage that so you can get a quick reload in or something. Or do another action. Or look around. Or just quick shield placement, recall. I mean, you figured it out, but when we watched earlier, it was kind of slow. You could have had it. This is a great shield. I think the thing I'm just going to keep weighing it on is like shield is Invisible Woman's most powerful ability. People will talk about her shift and how transformative it is to reposition people with E and your pull and your push and all that. But the ability to say this person instantaneously gets healing at a reasonable tick rate, not that fast, but a reasonable tick rate, and 300 shielding wherever they're looking right now, whatever problem they're looking at, is her most powerful piece of kit. It's crazy how strong that is. And most people don't think of it that way. I mean, I have protected people from all kinds of crazy ults. Heck, you almost protected a Cloak and Dagger last game from a Magneto ult, right? And you would have if you hadn't moved it. She would have lived. So I think, to me, the thing that jumps out with your gameplay is like almost all of your fundamentals are incredible. All of your like most of what you're doing is good, but your jump cooldown is used too frequently when you are going to need it soon. Not for like repositioning stuff. That's fine. I don't care about that. You can reposition off this thing when the fight isn't too thick, but you have a tendency to reposition off it when the fighting is thick. And you have a tendency not to use your shield very well. Those are my thoughts. Your shield is not, and when I say not very well, we're talking about like you're off by 5%. You're off by 10%. It's not bad. It obviously got you to a very high rank. You're better than me, but you can do better than this because I can see it, right? I can see it. I can tell you can do better. That was so loud. Uh-oh. We got 2 ults. Oh no, come on. Hang on. I thought that was the enemy Luna ulting, but that's just because everything's red. You should be seeing things in blue. Let's wash it back. Oh, God. That hurts my soul. I've done it too. That feels so bad.
A nice deep freeze.
Okay. Something that I need to validate, because I haven't personally tested it on the range, therefore I do not know 100% this is true, is that Invisible Woman does not get targeted by this ult if she is currently invisible. You are successfully invisible. If you do no other actions from here, you should, in theory, have a chance to land and see what's happening. Now, I know that I slam my ult as fast as possible because I don't want people to die in this ult. However, the sequence of events here is you've actually seen Bleer do it. You're doing it. And you could have canceled if you were really cracked with your timing. If you had stayed invisible, you definitely would have been able to catch that and not do it. If you just gave yourself a split second longer to react to what's going on around you. You also could have known that she had ult because she hadn't ulted last fight. So it's pretty clear that you two are going to have ults. So you got to be using tab to see who's going to have ult. And then you got to decide who ults first. Like this is obvious. You know you did this wrong, right? I don't need to belabor it forever. We both know you did this wrong, but obviously, please just talk to them and figure out who ults first, and then that saves the problem. I don't think you've had to go to ult this entire game. Have you? I don't think you've ulted successfully with any value. Good on Luna for turning it into damage boost. I mean,
Didn't see that coming.
you deserve props for this.
Feeling fantastic.
Tee. Got him. Good dodge. Oh, good try. Why weren't you invisible there? Were you hit? Yes, you were being hit by something. What? What in God's name was hitting you? Good try. I don't know what else to tell you. What else are you going to do? Good try. Yeah, this is a rough game, dude. You're getting destroyed. Here's the thing about games like this. I figured this out. I'm gonna do a pause. All right, we're gonna be intellectual for a moment. This video is gonna have to get cut down off a bunch, so maybe I won't even have time for this. But games like this that are stomps are a series of multiple people making small mistakes all on top of each other, whereas the enemy team is not making mistakes. Now, some of these mistakes are forced errors. You don't have a choice. Some of these mistakes are unforced errors. You just aren't thinking the right thing at the right time. You're not doing the right thing when you need to, and you are making an error. So, for example, Thor ulting and you jumping out was the correct decision, right? Landing behind the pillar, correct decision. Getting unlucky and destroyed by Bucky was not even an error on your part. That was them making a play. You can't really stop that one, probably. Most likely. Maybe you could have shielded something and stood behind your shield to protect yourself. Actually, could you? Let's ask that question. Okay. Yeah. Here's an alternative to your problem. This occurred to me. This came to me in a dream. Okay. Your team, you are in your team. Thor ults. You've got shield on OG Jack. Okay. Let's see how far you are from that. Too far to get to it. This is a sensible choice. This is a really, like, I want to reiterate, this is a sensible choice in the moment. I'm not telling you could have done anything better. But this guy seems to know what to do. Now your shield's gone. He's in the right spot. You could have been in the right spot. You could have been here. You could have been on this. This will protect you from Thor ult. You will live. So you could have just been here, and it could have saved you from Magneto ult. You could have just lived, right? You just stand right there, and you live. Through all of this, you just live. Now, maybe this guy 2-taps you in the head. Maybe Storm kills you. All right. An alternative here is you could have just hit it on Brute, so the two of you could have stood in it. Maybe it gets blown up and destroyed. I default jumping 2, but I'm starting to use my shield more because I've started to notice how often I can save myself by just standing in my own shield. I'm not saying this would have worked. I'm saying you could have tried it. Might have worked. You die either way, so, you know, what's the harm in trying it sometimes and seeing if you can find circumstances where it works. Okay, so tough game. Tough game for you guys. I mean, you guys are getting picked apart here pretty good. Is anyone on your team doing good? No. It's so funny to me that you're in like a Celestial 2 or whatever lobby right now, or 3 lobby. And this is exactly how scoreboards look in my lobbies. Like, it's just stomp or be stomped. It happens all the time. So I guess it's just like this all the way up the totem pole. But again, I spent some time on stream, and it just comes down to a series of errors being repeated by different people at different times, right? Everyone's trying to figure out what the other people are doing. The enemy team is generating pressure, and there's just all sorts of errors. You guys are, yeah, You guys are over here. Hela, what were you doing? Back all the way out. See? Unforced error. She could have made it out. Look at this. Hang on. Look at this. We got space to look at her. What are you doing? Just get out. Use your bird. Do you have your bird? Does she have her bird? Yeah. Turn around and leave. You didn't need to be here. This is exactly what I'm talking about, right? Like, imagine if she had lived here and just cornered this ult. Like, they're at 57%. They're at 57%. Why are we walking into the rocket ult when they're cracked and doing huge damage, they've got a storm. So they're at, I don't know if it's multiplicative. Let's assume that it's just additive. They're at a 50% damage buff right now. They are dumping damage into you guys. The fact that any of you live is really just insane. I like the pull. Good thinking. That, yeah. I guess the consequences of that are kind of unfortunate. Did OG Jack call for healing? Must have. Oh, kill him, kill him. Unlucky. Good job.
You needed some help.
Okay, here's something you can do. You're on cooldown. Why are you on cooldown here? What was this? Again, unforced error. You didn't need to do this jump. And you broke it immediately. You just, like, were you thirsting? Were you thirsting for the kill? Hang on. Oh, no. Oh, no, terrible. Terrible, 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 terrible. It's it's really funny to me to watch this. Like, I'm sorry for pontificating so much. I'll have to cut a lot of this, I guess. But, like, okay, this jump sucks. You're healing. You're just healing. The reason this jump sucks is it's just a repositioning jump. You're just like, you know, whatever. I want to get a better position. But you shoot immediately, and so you ruin, like, you just burned this for no reason. This cooldown is so strong. Okay, I want you to think about this for a second. You have 83% ult. Luna Snow has 58% ult. You can know that by hitting tab, right? You can do that you can jump, be invisible, hit tab, and decide who of you needs to die. You get to pick which support is dying to this ult and which one isn't. That's how strong Invisible Woman gets to be. She gets to make the decision. When there's a diver or a healer or whatever situation, you can just not be a part of the equation anymore. Free get out of jail free card. And you could just sacrifice the other healer to the gods. All you have to do is say, I'm done. I'm out. Bye-bye. We're out of here. And if you have 83% ult charge here, and you jump out, you can just have your ult for the next fight, and Storm gets one pick.
Clearly, you needed some help.
And bad luck for you, she chose you. So let's see if Bleer here can get the...
We're finding our groove.
Now, here's the question. You guys took point. Would it have mattered that you died instead of her? She only got one. She only got the one pick. So there wasn't a big game changer. In fact, it might shake out in your favor in this case.
Be your best self.
Might shake out in your favor. Maybe you knew. If you're like, I can walk back and have my ult. She can heal.
I am barely harmed. I was worried.
Like, maybe that's some peak celestial wisdom I don't have. Maybe you're like, I want to be the one who goes down because I want her to live. Because I want her to have ult the next fight. And she'll get it if she can heal. You know, totally valid. These are the kind of mind games you want to be playing with your ult stuff, right? And I know that. I can't do it live in game, but I know it. Actually, I can sometimes, but not all the time. We're not watching your camera, I'm sorry. Hi. Faster get back? Is that what you're going for? Yeah, probably. I'll take that. That's fine. Good job. Good job. All of this is... You're very attentive. You're very attentive to your team. You're just looking at people all the time. Uh-oh. Nice jump out. Nope. Okay, you had someone to heal you. My lobbies, I gotta give this more time. My lobbies are bad. Good cancel. Good cancel. Cat on Adam with the huge pick. Nice, 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 nice. Uh-oh. What's going on with that Thor?
Clearly, you needed some help.
I don't like what just happened. Okay. Whatever is going on, you've got ult down. You don't need to worry about healing anyone except there's people who are out of their ult. You can chuck an orb out there, by the way, and you should. Just, like, okay. Fine. Right here, huck an orb on that. All you want to do here is prevent them from holding W. Huck an orb on that. If they want to hold W into the staircase, then too bad for them. If they want to hop over, that's, you know, okay, fine. You're not going to kill this thing by any stretch, but there's a bunch of there's a bunch of health bars here. Just chuck your stupid orb right there and just let them suffer for a second. Good job healing him. Okay, he's good. He's in. But what did we see happen 12 milliseconds ago? That needs to be your cue to look that way. Venom will make this without your help. You need to look to your right. You need to put your shield on your healer. You need to keep him alive. Or alive, whatever.
Clearly you needed some help.
You did it again. I do this all the time, but you got to work on this. I've seen it so many times in this game. You jumped. Fine. You fired immediately and canceled it. You are getting healing when you're invisible. Be invisible for a minute. Your team will survive. The tank with 50% HP can make it. You can get your shield cooldown off that 1 second cooldown in 1 second. Drop it on him. Shoot him a couple times. He will not die. And if he does die to that, then he was too deep and he's playing wrong. Like, you can't be the one that sacrifices your life for the tank every single time. Or what's the point?
You wouldn't see me again.
Sometimes you just gotta say, that person's dying, I'm living. You're an invisible woman, you can do that, and you need to sometimes.
Clearly you needed some help.
And now look, this is a full reset for you guys, it's fine. What's your tank doing? Nice, 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 nice.
I'll put this to good use.
Oh no, what happened? What is Venom doing? Is Venom just giving up? Is Venom just like, I'm done? I don't want to be here anymore? Hold on, what is Venom? What's going on here? My boy, he ulted off point. On overtime. Look at this. Didn't even get the kill. How unlucky for him. He had his E2. He could have just done whatever for a second. Yeah, oh, he got the kill. Lucky him. Well, let's look at the scoreboard, shall we? Okay, well, first of all, you guys just got diffed. Like, this is just a team diff. Why was this a team diff, though? Everyone here is a high-ranking player who's perfectly competent, who climbed this high. So what's going on? This is honestly such a problem, and I've been thinking about it. Everybody on this team, including you, made a whole bunch of small errors. And I believe there's a term for this, and if it's not, then I'm making it up. It is called a stacking failure cascade. You don't need a lot of them. They snowball, right? It's a snowball. It's a negative snowball. Every time you misused your shield, and every time you misused your jump and died when you could have lived, you snowballed the rest of the team having less healing, and then they died, and then the enemy team got their ult faster, and so forth, right? Hela standing in the hallway for no reason and dying was a mistake she could have just avoided. She could have just walked out of there, used her bird, left, right? You guys trying to push into rocket ult for no reason. All of these different choices led to your defeat here. I don't think you had a good ult this entire game. Maybe one at the start of the game. So it's like all of those things really went badly. Like you and Luna double ulting at this elo is hilarious. And so it's just all of those details really crushed you this game. It's detail, cooldown usage, behaviors around making the correct decisions. I mean, these are all things that I have to work on. And I'm not saying it's easy to do or perfect. It's just really obvious when you watch this game back where your mistakes were and what problems you had. But thank you for asking me to do this. I really do appreciate it. It's been really fun for me. I've learned a ton watching you play and genuinely think it was really fun to watch someone play at such a high level. I do think that there are a few things you need to work on pretty consistently. your positioning sometimes is really aggressive at the wrong moment. It's again, I have to repeat this a lot because people will misunderstand me. Some bloodthirst on a healer is a good thing, especially if you're playing Sue Storm. You getting in there and doing damage when you need to is great. You're doing a good job on that front. I don't think there's anything wrong with doing that. You choosing to run in front of your tanks to drop your ult is not great. So you need to think about, hey, how do I use my ult from a position of safety? How do I stack my cooldowns so that I can be safe when I use my ult? For that matter, can I put my shield, my little shield down in such a way that I can stand behind it while I'm ulting? Like, just little refinements there around, like, there's a whole bunch of different ones, right? You can do this multiple different ways as Sue Storm. You can use hard cover, you can use your shield, you can use your invisibility jump, or just have it off cooldown so that you can jump if you need it. Whatever it is, I don't see you thinking about how to safely deploy your ult very often. Your ult is not a get out of jail free card. Your ult is a team winning fight mechanic, but it will not save you if you are not using it properly. The last thing I'll say is your shield usage, which I know I talked about plenty last time, is just a little inefficient. For the most part, it's really good. You're really attentive to your team. You keep people alive when they otherwise would have died most of the time. You're obviously playing really, really well. But there's a few cases where you could have had a shield on someone and it might have saved their life, like Venom in the last game or Thor at the beginning of this game, right? Like, it might have saved them, it might not have, but if you had tried it, like, it would be worth it. You might have done it, and might have been you making a play off of something very small, just clicking the right click button more often. And I think you can find, it's easy to hit. Like, if you're there's no reason you need to rely on hitting your target when you could just right click then hit your target, right? Because you get yourself margin for error when you do that. If you right click someone, the shield absorbs an entire shot from an enemy. They had like 100 health, right? It absorbs 2 Bucky shots. It absorbs 2 Bucky shots in that condition. 100 health, 2 Bucky shots. That's not nothing. And it heals Thor, and you miss the first shot on Thor, but you hit the second. That might be enough margin for him to realize he's going to die unless he hits a button. He maybe gets his 1 second cooldown off. He uses his ability, and now he's alive again, right? You could have made a play there. Could have. It's potential. Looking for the opportunity to do that by just being more consistent about your shield usage is going to be a big winner for you. And then also understanding that you need to have it off cooldown. Recalling it, not overusing it for things. Like, thinking sometimes, like, I'm banging on this because sometimes there are cases where using your shield somewhere is a bad idea because it's just going to get instant broken and then there's going to be no value. It's going to be on a long cooldown, right? So I know you're going to have to balance those things, and sometimes you're going to have to make a different choice. So that's fine. Maybe you made an intentional choice here, but I get the impression you're not making intentional choices around your shield placement all the time. And it's the area I would think about the most to refine your gameplay in, besides your positioning around placing your ult and besides your aggressive posture. It's okay to be aggressive. It's not okay to be aggressive when you need to be alive and you are sometimes not making it. I think I'm reiterating myself too much, so I think I'm going to call it there. Warm regards.
Reginald.
I would like to take a moment to express my genuine and significant gratitude to Bonehead for becoming my first Oath Taker level member. Your support really does mean a lot to me and has made it so much easier for me to continue to justify the amount of effort I pour into this channel. I'd also like to thank Miles Williams Lewis, Joseph Davison, Shackleford, and McSpan for supporting my channel through my Adept level membership. Your atypical support really means a lot to me, and I appreciate it. I'd also like to extend a thank you to the rest of my members. Support helps the channel a lot. If you would like to become a member of this channel, there is a link in the description below and a join button next to the subscribe button. Thank you all so much for visiting. Have a wonderful day. Bye-bye.